shit ain't fucking right, dude. What the fuck?
Welcome back to 31 Mad Days of Terror. As always, I'm your host, the titular Mad Silence. Let's get this out of the way right away. No, just because I'm a giant Transformers fan does not mean I care about this stupid headcanon that the blonde jock asshole from This Is the Same as the Bully from base Transformers, just because they share a name and an actor. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the reboot as its own film. After I get this out of the way, that is. Whereas 2010's A Nightmare on Elm Street did everything a reboot could conceivably do wrong, well, wrong? 2009's Resurrection of the Hockey Masked Murderer instead does a lot right. While I would have preferred Jason being undead in this, the character may be at his smartest, most effective, and brutal here. You know, without it being over the top and goofy as hell. Hell, this Jason uses traps, including bear traps, which is such a brilliant addition to his arsenal, and adds a really cool layer to this version of the character. Derek Mears said his performance of Jason was even somewhat inspired by Rambo, which...
Nice.
And honestly, I'd be surprised if his use of bear traps in this didn't at least somewhat inspire the way killers use them in Dead by Daylight. Sure, this film isn't perfect. Like I said before, Jason being an undead drowning victim back for revenge makes so much more sense and doesn't make his mom's murder spree feel silly and pointless. So it was a missed opportunity not to have him be undead from the start in the reboot. Then there's his kidnapping, which is never really explained and feels incredibly random and pretty antithetical to the character. Oh, and while the shrine to Pamela in this is quite a cool reinvention of that specific element of the second film, the way it's used here is pretty underwhelming, especially when compared to the ingenious way it was utilized in 2. That said, this is such a solid remake, especially when you consider it blends together elements of at least 3 installments of the original series, while also doing its own thing. Between fun characters, a terrifying Jason, a cock-munching prick who gets what he deserves, some great sets, kills, and effects, I definitely recommend this. It aged so much better than I had expected, since I haven't seen it since I was a kid. And let's just say that the previous reboot I'd seen for this marathon made me pretty cautious about trusting the taste of my younger self. Now that we've finished our journey through Friday the 13th, it's time to very legally look at Harvey Weinstein's first movie. So meet me back here tomorrow for what may be the most infamous movie to capitalize off Friday the 13th success. Or don't, you can always skip tomorrow's installment and meet me back here the next night. In the meantime, feel free to like the video, leave a comment, positive or negative, and maybe even subscribe if you haven't yet. But until next time, this is Mad Silence, signing out.
Lucille? Baby, is that you? Lawrence, you've been cheating on me.
No.
I saw you with a bowl the other night.
No, you.
A bowl.